This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
What's up, people? Welcome to another edition of the Still a Man podcast. And tonight we will be discussing the age-old argument, this causing great debates all around the world, in the hood, in the urban communities, and the suburban communities. We're going to talk about the 50-50 rule. So just so we're clear, we're going to break it down. Tonight, no video support. All this education is going to come from the members of the panel. So guys, get ready. So we're going to talk about first the 50-50 rule as it pertains to dating. Then we're going to talk about it as it pertains to relationships. And then we're going to go to the ultimate relationship, which is marriage. That's how we're going to break it down tonight. And just so we're clear, we're talking about 50-50 rule as it pertains to splitting things right down the middle. So again, we're not talking about children because you can't split them right down the middle, but you might be talking about how you take care of them. So let's just go around the room and let's get people's perspective. Ladies, gentlemen, remember this is an open forum. Let's be respectful and agree to disagree. So let everybody have their say. We're gonna start with Deli. How do you feel about the 50-50 rule and what does it mean to you?
I'm a little old-fashioned. I'm an older gal, born in the 60s, and excuse me, I don't necessarily agree with 50-50. I don't think there's no numbers neither. I think where one may lack, the other should pick up, vice versa, like that. In terms of building, yes, I think 50-50 would come in when you're trying to build something together. That's compromisable. But in terms of like a relationship and building a relationship, no, I think it's more of a give and take. As I said, where one may lack, the other picks up, or where one might, might fall short, the other should pick up. That's all in getting to know people. It starts from the very beginning, the stimulation of the mind, and getting to know one another will sustain that 50-50 because you will have some sort of idea of one another, so you'll know what the needs of each other would be, so I don't think 50-50 is a cap on it. I don't put a cap on it.
Okay. All right, let's go to Patsy next. Patsy, how do you feel about the 50 rule and how does it pertain to you and your perspective and your life and how when you dealing with relationships?
I think like in a relationship, like it's a give and take. It's like the majority of the relationship should be 50, like partially 50-50 depending on the situation. And then, yeah, especially like if you're living together, it's like you should be like kind of like how Deli Eden said, like you should like one's paying the bills more, like the other should like help out around the house or apartment or whatever. In other ways, like they're getting more of the food and doing stuff that way, you know. So it depends on the situation, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
right now, I don't have to worry about that rule, you know. I ain't got nobody around or dealing with nobody right now, so whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Max, you want to jump in? Same question.
Sure. I don't necessarily agree with 50-50, but because like the first sister that spoke, sometimes like you might like I might be doing better than he is at certain times. And then I might slip, hit a hard patch, and he might be doing better than me at certain times. I think that you should treat each other equally. Like you both should put 100% into the relationship, and build each other up and help each other out, so you could build something together. And
Okay.
like if you're living together, financially, like if you're living together, maybe that 50-50 is a good rule, so that you're equally putting, or when you're able to, you're both equally taking care of the house, or like the other sister said, one might be making more than the other, so one might pay a little more on the bills, but the other one should do a little more around the house or something. Like both of you put in equal effort to make sure that you have that you're building a nice home together.
Okay. Ladies,
But
you all
emotionally, financially, spiritually, I think you should both be working just as hard at the relationship, because if you're not, it's kind of like one's in a relationship and one is not.
okay.
Or one is working and the other one's just reaping the benefits.
Okay.
Mm.
Guys, I know you're chopping at the bit. You're waiting to get your chance, but I want to get these ladies' perspective first, and then we're going to go to the gentlemen. So if you're just joining us tonight, we are discussing the 50-50 rule. So I see Josie and Maria just joined in. Josie, ready to share? Same question. What does the 50-50 rule mean to you? Guys, gotta turn your mics on. Okay, while we're waiting on Josie, Maria, you want to go ahead and share? Same question. What does the 50-50 rule mean to you? Okay. Do we have any other ladies on the panel? All right, then we're gonna go to the brothers. We're gonna start off with the Honorable G. Lacey. What does the 50-50 rule mean to you?
50-50, I think, really doesn't really mean nothing. I think what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. And when you come into a relationship, you should have an understanding about that, especially if the person, even if they're rich or if they're poor, somebody knows. And then, like Maxine just said, sometimes she might be up, you might be down. Sometimes you might be up and she might be down. So it should never really be 50-50.
Okay.
And in continuation, I believe, hi, this is T, because G and I are in the car doing some stuff. But I also believe, because you guys are talking about 50-50, I believe there is no 50-50 in a relationship, in a marriage. Like once you guys have children, that's it. Like, not to say it like that, but once you're committed to that person, it's 100 and 100%. Like I can't come into a relationship and only give you 50%. That makes no sense. Am I not supposed to come into that relationship and give you 100%? So what's yours is mine and what's mine is yours. Like we do this together, whether maybe the rent is 2,000, but I make more money. But as long as you put that extra little 400 or whatever you have to give, that shows effort, and that's 100%. So both of us can get to that vacation, get to that dream home, get to that next level, whatever that may be. There is no such thing in my eyes as 50-50. It is 100% and 100%, whether you bring your own children, whatever it may be, but you want me to treat those children right, 100%. as their stepmother. So you need to treat me 100% as the person that you're in a relationship with. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We appreciate the insight. We're gonna go to Bird. Same question. What does the 50-50 rule mean to you?
I don't really understand the whole 50-50 game, but speaking for me personally, I was in a marriage and my ex-wife didn't work at all and brought any financial backing to the home, which was okay because me as the provider worked two jobs. I wasn't the cleaner. I wasn't the um I wasn't the housekeeper or any of that notion. I mean, I kind of felt I was a little more old school. The man works and the woman takes care of the house. So that was kind of where I was at that point. And, where I'm at now, I don't know if I don't even know if there is a 50-50 because I haven't been in a place to experience that. But again, I pulled the extra load financially and she pulled the extra load domestically. You know what I mean? So my crib, my kids, my clothes, everything was all dealt with at home. But yeah, I went out every day and worked two jobs for 15 years to provide.
Honorable man. Mr. Timmy, you want to give us your perspective? Same thing. What does the 50-50 rule mean to you?
I agree with everybody on the panel that said that there is no 50-50 when it comes to relationship, but it's a 50-50, say, business wise, it becomes 50-50 or whatever the judge decides is going to be when you're married and the marriage is over and you didn't get an annulment, and then that's when that 50-50 comes in. But far as what everybody's saying, I agree with, everybody hit the topics right and, had the answers that I was going to say. So I agree along with everybody.
Okay. Simply put, Mr. Adapter Parish, it's your turn. Same question. What does the 50-50 rule mean to you? Okay. Well,
He ain't even on.
Must be having problems with your mic. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and break this down. Let's talk about it from the perspective as it pertains to dating. So,
I'm sorry, David. I'll just give you a simple answer. It really just means we both supposed to have each other's back. I don't care if it was 40-40, 20-20, 30-30, 10-10, 90-90, 80-80, 70-60-60. I have your back, you have mine. I fall, you pick me up. You fall, I pick you up. Whatever children need, and I can't provide that time, you will. And when you can't provide, I will. It's just that we are there for each other unconditionally.
okay. Clear cut. All right, guys, so let's break this down as it pertains to our dating. So I'm gonna ask you these questions in two parts. Let's go to Max first. So whatever age you are now, compared to the younger version of you, if a man took you out to dinner, asked you out to dinner, I want your opinion, your perspective based upon the younger Max and the mature Max. So what would the younger Max have done and what would the mature Max do? If the man invites you out, who do you feel should pay this meal?
Well, if he invited me out, I feel like he should pay for the meal. He invited me out. But there were times when the younger Max was invited out and the guy didn't even have the money to pay for the dinner. I ended up paying for it, but I don't think that's right Because if you invite somebody out, you should be the one to pay.
Okay,
Now,
so
if
let me
we
be.
equally agreed, let's go out and do something. Then and then we should discuss who's going to pay or whatever. That should be cleared up before we get there. You know what I'm saying? But if you ask me out, you should pay for it because you asked me out.
Okay, so you basically
You don't
gave
ask
me.
me out so I can pay for you. What kind of crap is that?
Right.
The young, but there were times when I was asked out and the person didn't even have the money for what I like. I know not to go out with no money. I know that.
Yeah.
It's young Max and old Max was wise enough to know that. But no, and there were times when like when I was going to church, we had the reverse dating thing where we asked the brothers out and I paid because I asked him out. I think it all depends on who's doing the asking and the planning. But if you ask somebody out, you should be prepared to give them, you should be
At least
prepared to
half.
pay for it. You should be prepared to pay for it, not expecting them to eat salad, you know.
Mm.
You
All
don't take
right,
them to the
so
steakhouse and expect them to eat salad.
Rob, it seems that you're chomping at the bits to answer. So let's go to you next. If in your younger days, and I want your perspective as it pertains to the mature Robert. If someone asks you out for dinner, who's supposed to pay, them or you?
Well, when I was asked out for dinner, the woman normally paid because she was taking me out for the night or the day. And if I thought that I wanted to come out my pocket and say, hey, why don't we just go half on out? You save some money. I got some money over here. I'll throw it towards the bill. I did so. As I got older, I think that I was paying a majority of the bills because I don't know if they assumed I had the money, but that's just how it went.
So let's go to Deli next. Deli, same question. Younger Deli and mature Deli. If someone asks you out for dinner, who should pay for the meal?
Younger Deli, I was aggressive, so I would be looking for the gentleman to pay. I never had a problem asking a guy for money or right up front, you paying. I was never afraid of that. I'm very just like outward, but the older Deli I think I'm more compromisable. I'd like to be more compromisable. So if a brother in friendship, we're getting to know each other, would ask me, hey, you want to go out? I'd say, sure. Is it a mutual outing? That way I'll know. Are we paying together or are you, asking me out? So I'd ask that question. Is it a mutual outing? Because maybe I want some time out too. You know what I mean? And sometimes we don't have it, but I'd like to be fair with that. And so I'd ask up front. So I'd know. And I'd still go if that's what I choose to do. But I'd have to know because being older, I really am not in the business of taking care of a gentleman. I'm not good with that.
Okay. So we're gonna go to Bird next. Same question. If you are Bird, mature Bird, who pays the bill?
Well, I think I'm the same guy. I think young Max would pay the bill if I ask you out. Obviously I'm trying to court it, might be trying to get some. So yeah, I'm gonna try to floss a little bit. The younger one, I'm gonna floss it out, right? Whatever you want, boo boo. Blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to get home and make it happen. No worries. The whatever you want to call me now, I ain't shit. Excuse my language. I would invite you out. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna invite you out, right, Patsy? We're gonna go out on a date. I'm gonna pay for it, right? But I'm hoping you have a little bit of understanding and empathy for a motherfucker. I'm sorry, for a person's pocket, and not try to order surf and turf for $80 meal and about $100 worth of alcohol. Don't do me like that. You might have got that in the younger stupid guy, but this guy right here may just be looking for some consideration. I'm not saying get a salad, baby girl. You know, you have a drink or two, but you want to get 8 drinks and $80 dinner and some. I mean, you want to. I mean, I got a $600 bill for 2 people. That we're gonna have a problem.
Right.
I might leave you. I might go to the bathroom and not come back, and you're gonna be mad as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, be considerate as in a mature adult, because obviously I'm not gonna be out here with a teenager or a young-minded goofball. I'm trying to be with a mature woman now, a mature woman that does understand finances. And you know, I ain't gonna try to crack this dude and get champagne, and you know, I ain't gotta do him like that. Even if you had it like that, you know, be a little bit more reasonable is what I'm saying in the older beat.
Right.
Reasonable.
Right.
You got that. I invite you out, I'll pay. I ain't mad at that. I ain't cheap like that, but come on. Be reasonable is all I'm saying now in the older wiser.
Okay. Patsy, we're gonna let you answer that too now. So you're invited out. Who pays for the meal? You or him?
Okay, like younger me and older me, it's like I like even I think I feel kind of like pretty much how everybody's stated. It's like younger me, I do
We make
didn't expect the guy to pay if he invited me out on a date, you know, and even now I still expected him to pay. If you're inviting me out as a dude, okay, you're paying, right? So, but sometimes it's like we might compromise, be like, okay, what is this? A date, or we just going out and we paying halvesies or whatever, you know? But yeah, but for me, it's like I understand finances. It's like we got equal, we all got bills and stuff to do and stuff, you know, and it's like, you know, we go to Applebee's, you know, they got 2 for 25, 2 for 40 or whatever. I'm not really an expensive person, and I don't drink a lot anyways. So it's like, okay, I'll get a drink or two or whatever. If I'm not feeling the alcohol, I'm just like Coke, Pepsi, whatever, and like I might do a steak meal or something. But I'm not gonna go like overboard and get a
What are you doing?
$200-300 meal. I'm like, who does that?
You run from me.
Right. That's not considered.
Okay, so same question, Timmy. You're invited out. Who pays for the meal? You or the individual that invited you out? Young Timmy and mature Timmy.
See, me personally, I don't go out unless I got some money. So that's the right off the bat. And if a person, because I like to have money in my pocket to, you know, to at least help pay. If you're going to take me out, then I want to have money in to help pay. You know, help pay the bill. You know, but I understand that the concept, if you ask me out to dinner, then that's supposed to mean that you pay for it, or you know, the vice versa. That is true. That's being you know, you asking someone, and that's what you want to take them out, and so they assuming that you were gonna pay for everything. Now, some people that have money in their pocket be like, I'm gonna pay half of it. They be like, nah, I got that. So, you know, like everyone said on the piano, you know, they you know, you want to have money in your pocket just in case, you know. But usually, the person that's taking you out pays for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Josie and Maria and Kiana, are you guys still with us? Kiana, are you with us?
I'm here.
Yes, she's here.
Okay, Kiana, let's get your perspective.
Okay.
Neil, go ahead.
I don't ask people out. My mother raised me that when you go out, you don't ever go out without any money in your pocket. But if a guy asks me out, I'm not paying. If you can't afford to, I mean, I'm reasonable of where we're going. I think all of that should be established before. I would never go out with somebody and be like, because I do have expensive taste. I would never be like, oh, steak and lobster on you. I just met you. Yeah, pop bottles. So I'm not that type of person. We're not doing that. You have to be established for those kind of relationships. But yeah, my pockets, assume I don't have a pocket or a pocketbook because I'm not contributing. If you ask me out, if we went out and you didn't have money, I would pay my way and I would leave you there. I was not raised like that. You don't go out the house without money in your pocket. Heck no.
You wouldn't pay his way?
She's gonna just pay
Absolutely
her bill.
not. I'll excuse myself to go to the bathroom. I'll pay my own way and I'm figuring myself up out of there. I do not do that.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
So just so we clear, if any man, be it dealing with the younger Kiana and the mature Kiana, if he asks you to pay the bill, this is the sound that he would hear?
Crickets.
Yeah.
Birds background. Cars and sirens and background noise.
One more time. So you can hear it. Here we go. This is the sound that gentleman would hear.
Exactly. There's no way.
You're not aware about that. That's the sound.
And the old me and the younger me is the same person. So no.
So now, either the bill or him is going through the window.
Yeah, if you don't have money to go somewhere, that to me is like, I don't know, that's like me telling you to pay my bill and I don't know you.
That's taking advantage.
That doesn't, that's crazy. You don't know my pockets, you don't know what I have. And if you ask me out, I assume that you're taking me out. Now if we're going out together, that's something different. Or we say, oh, let's go do something. Right. I'm still thinking, I mean, as a man, I'm still thinking that it's your treat. Now, if I say, oh, you know, I want to go, like, you don't like Beyonce, but I want to see Beyonce. Okay, I'm going to buy the ticket so that we can go see Beyonce because I want you to go with me. But that's different.
Now stay right there because we're going to come back to that because Beyonce is expensive. And I don't know if that's a date that you go on when you're just dating, trying to get to know somebody.
Absolutely not. That's marriage status. Hold
that thought. We're gonna get to that. Mr. Brimage, you want to try to follow this? If you are invited out, who pays, you or them? Young and mature.
I did answer that already. I told you already that when I was younger, how it went with the ladies that invited me out. So I assumed that they was gonna pay for the dinner, but I always have money in my pocket. So if I felt like going half or just saying you save your money, that's what I choose to do. And she kept her money or she just paid half or even a tip. But as I got older, because, you know, I was making money doing the 1-2s, they assumed I had to pay the whole bill. So it was never a question who's going to pay it. Let's go out to eat. And then, you know, they probably putting on their coats while I'm paying for the bill.
So just so we clear, we got all the ladies out the way. We got Kiana, we got Max, we got Patsy, we got Deli. I think Josie and Maria still having mic problems. We got all the dudes. And let's go to
Mr. Lacey.
Let's go to the younger members of the panel. Lacey's, are you still with us?
Yeah.
G. Lacey, are you still with us? Okay, they might have drove off into the sunset. So let's get to this. So I was going to get their perspective, seeing that they're younger. So today, the younger people, I seen it, I heard it.
Uncle D, my fault. I thought you could hear me. What'd you say?
I said, what do you feel if you was the younger version of you and the current version of you, which is still young, how do you feel about someone invites you out to dinner? Who picks up the bill, you or them?
I mean, if we discussed before that everybody was paying for their own tab, and I could see me paying it, or if she asked me to take her out, I don't know. I would be paying for the dinner, but if you're asking me out, I'm expecting you to pay for the dinner. It wasn't my plans.
You don't sound too convincing. So you expect her to pay if she asks you out. That's right. What you said, right?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna let Janae
No. I think that if somebody, whether you make plans to go out, everybody as an adult should have the expectation to have money in their pocket. We should not be expecting a whole nother human being to feed us just because they want our company. I think we got to get that, like, have your own money just in case. Have your own money to pay the tip. Have your own money to buy that other person a drink or something. But don't have the expectation of, oh, well, they're taking me out, so I'm going to order steak and lobster. And you know you can't even damn afford it your damn self. You go, you pick places and you do things that you know that you can afford without the thought of somebody else paying for it. Because like I said, everybody's an adult. And if that person's inviting you out, of course we think, oh, wow, that's so nice of them. But still, we're all adults. We all eat, we all drink, and we know that gets expensive. So even though they invite you out, I do think it's always courteous to be like, you know what? I got the tip, right? Like, oh, okay, well, you pay for this, I got the tip.
Drinks. Or I got the drinks.
Yeah, or I got the drinks, or here's $40. Like, you know, you might not know how much the bill is, but you know what? Here you go, baby. Here's $40. You know, thank you for dinner. Like, it's always the here you go.
On the person.
Okay.
You shouldn't be dating that person if they ain't willing to do all that then. Because that just don't make sense. You're not dating an adult. You're dating a child or a boy.
I mean, whether you take the money or not, the gesture goes a long way. Just the fact that you're even willing to be a part of it. I mean, you could say, nah, baby, you hold that. I got this. Don't worry. And just the gesture of offering that, outlet to share that bill or whatever it is means a lot, whether you take it or not. So, yeah, I mean, I don't see many people in that mind frame, but, there are some people that are there. And that's good to hear. There are some people that do, understand.
Fair to say. So let me just say this. For those of you just joining us, this is the Still a Man podcast, and tonight we are discussing the 50-50 rule as it pertains to dating, relationships, and marriage. And currently we are discussing the dating.
You're on mute.
He went out.
You're muted, David.
You're muted, David.
His mouth ain't moving. He got his thing.
I think he froze up.
Okay, I'm back. You guys can hear me?
Back.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
So again, my question, sorry about that. We got some technical difficulties. So what I was saying to you guys is, if you're just joining us tonight, we are discussing the 50-50 rule as it pertains to dating, relationships, and marriage. So I hear this a lot about the younger people when they go out, be it to a club, they're going out to have drinks, they're going out to have dinner, they're going out to a movie and stuff, and they are with their significant other or somebody that they are courting, trying to get to know. At the end of the night, they cash app them their portion of the bill. How do you feel about that? Gregory first. Guys, turn on your mic. All right. While he's figuring that out, Bird, you answer that.
Say that again. If she cash apps me the money for the bill, I'd probably send it back.
Okay. So how do you feel about guys? How do you feel about guys taking women out and at the end of the night, they're cash apping them, telling them they need their portion of the bill to pay because they paid for the bill?
That might be the last date. I hope for some of you ladies realize that.
Yeah.
I ain't sending you nothing, and we ain't never going out again, clown.
Right.
Yeah, if
Good
we
luck
didn't
with your
have
life.
that discussion ahead of
Should have
time,
never brought
that's
her up.
kind of corny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
So-
like that though. They might be mad they couldn't get none at the end of the night. You know, you couldn't close
Yeah,
the
that's
deal.
happened to me.
Yeah. That's yeah.
You know, we like stories, Max. You care to share? Just don't use no names.
Yeah, this guy asked me out. He took me to Faneuil Hall. It wasn't like a really expensive place. I have kind of expensive taste,
You don't
so
see the
I always came with extra money just in case, you know.
She was
And
like,
I would have
she didn't like
offered.
that.
I would have offered to pay part of the bill if it got kind of expensive because I know I have expensive taste and I want what I want. So, but anyway, I didn't get anything that cost that much. And when he realized, like towards the end of the night, he ordered more drinks than I did. He was drunk. When he realized towards the end of the night, after you know we talked and all that he wasn't gonna get none. That's when he decided he didn't want to pay for everything. Like he didn't he's like, I ain't got no more money and all that. He didn't even have money. Talking about he didn't even have money to get home. So I was like, all right, I'll pay for the cab. I don't know what he expected me to say. I mean, he said, really, you gonna pay for the cab? I said, how else are we gonna get home? And I paid for the last round of drinks.
Was he going home with you?
No, not to my house, but I paid for the cab to get him. I took him home, and then the cab took me home.
Oh, so it was clear you getting dropped off.
Yeah, dude, you getting dropped off. Yeah, because he was drunk and he was starting to be rude, and I knew that the only reason why he didn't want to continue to pay was because he wasn't getting no tail that night.
Can I say something really quickly? I truly believe, right? And I'm not saying that women are like a shopping item or that we are meant to be shopped, but when you're courting and you're dating, right? It's like going to a store, right? Some men will go to, I don't know, you know, when you put it like this, you know, when you walk by Fendi, it is too expensive for your pockets. So when you walk past T, you must smell that maybe I'm a little too expensive for it. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of men I find will either degrade you or whatever because you are overpriced or because maybe you are in a certain bracket or you do like to eat at a certain place. But don't ever let no man play you about no. Yeah, that got me upset. No, because every woman knows their worth. And I'm not saying certain women have certain worth. No, everybody.
Yeah, I just don't have the heart to leave somebody stranded.
A man is
I didn't
supposed
know
to
if he was
provide.
truly stranded or not. So I just don't have that kind of heart. I just don't. And to
I would
me,
have had him walking. I hope the
No,
bus
but-
runs. I hope the train runs. You're
but
gonna be
you know
walking
what?
at 12.5 miles.
But you know what? I get blessed for being the better person. So it didn't hurt
I
me.
agree.
I never missed the money that I spent on the cab. I probably got blessed with more. So I don't worry about stuff like that.
Oh no! I was like, the devil ain't
I
gonna
rather
me today.
I rather do the right thing so that. And plus, he was so drunk. I mean, he was drunk. So I rather do the right thing. Believe me, we never went out again, and I lost the number.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
We never went out again, and I lost the number, and he lost a good person. I could have been a good friend, if not anything else. He lost a good person.
That was a payment that was worth getting rid of.
Yeah, it was a small price to pay to get rid of a nigga. I say that all the time when somebody calls themselves using me.
Kiana, how you feel about that, Kiana? This guy, he takes you out, and at the end of the night, He's cash apping you, saying that you owe him half of the bill for the night's festivities.
I have no Cash App, no Venmo, no nothing, so you can't get nothing from me. So if you didn't ask for it up front, I guess you're shit out of luck.
Okay, Patsy. Same question.
Yeah, that Cash App business, you played yourself. I'm not doing that.
I don't have all those Cash Apps, so you know what? I guess you out with without a pot to piss in when how my mother would have put it. Well, I guess you ain't got no pot to piss in it. Ask me after the fact.
And no window to throw out of it. Exactly, Patsy.
All right, so
you should have talked about that beforehand.
Josie, Maria, you still with us? You guys fix your mics. Okay, they're still having issues. All right, so guys, let me actually give you this other scenario about dating, then we're gonna move on to the relationship. So you got this individual, he takes you out, and this is for everybody, be it a guy or a woman, men included, women included. I want you to answer this question. If someone takes you out and they feel like they can order for you and you don't want what they ordered, how do you feel about that? And you decide that you're gonna order what you want. So scenario where this guy says, okay, I'm gonna order for both of us. And he says, we're gonna have, let's say eggplant Parmesan and 2 garden salads, one for me and one for the lady, and we'll both have water. How do you deal with that situation?
I stop him in his tracks. Stop him in his
No,
tracks.
you have to let me know. You have to let me know that you're gonna order for me something special or something you want me to try. Otherwise, you're not ordering anything because that's control. And no, that's a form of control. I'm gonna eat or decide what I want to at the time, unless there's an issue. I'll ask you, do you have a problem paying for what I'm gonna order? Or like I said, it would be something that you want me to try or introducing me to, and I might go along with it.
Okay. Now, guys, keep this in mind. The other part of the question is, because you didn't want to eat what he ordered for you, he now wants you to pay your half of the bill, even though you didn't eat what he ordered. How do you feel about that?
Could I say this?
Who's
Go on.
people?
I called him. I asked for the manager and asked him to remove this from the bill.
You don't know what I'm allergic to, what I can eat,
Yes.
what my dietary restrictions are.
Right.
I'm not a kid. This is not a happy meal. I would order for myself. And if I didn't eat the meal, I'm certainly not paying anything towards it. I'll be out your mind. People getting left at the table. I don't know what's going on.
So no Cash App, none of that stuff. He can't ask you to pay part of the check, none of that. You ain't asked for it, you ain't paying for that.
No.
You didn't ask me about the Cash App, but I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
Are you talking about young folk or grown folk?
I'm talking about young and grown, because this is what's happening right now. But the young people are the ones that are like trendsetters. They're the ones that started doing this stuff. But yeah, that's what their generation do. But unfortunately, some of our generation have adopted these practices.
It can't be that old. I would throw money at you and be like, you know what? You need therapy and you have issues. Please do not ever call me again. If you even come by my street, go 2 streets over and drive up it. I don't even want to see you pass my house. That's crazy. Absolutely not.
I know that you're not ordering for me. I'm a grown ass woman. I know what I want, and like the other sister said, you don't know my dietary restrictions. You don't even know if I can eat that, or if I even like that. You're not gonna order for me. You're not gonna demand I pay for anything, especially if I didn't eat it. If I'm hungry, I will sit at another table, order my own food, eat what I want, and look at you like you crazy. but I'm not gonna sit down with you and eat and have to pay for it.
Yeah,
And
me
I'm
and Max will
definitely
be at the same thing.
and good luck trying to get me to pay for something I didn't eat that you ordered. I'm not paying for it. I'm
All
not.
right, let's
So
take
so
these
so
up.
could I, so could I
Go,
answer
go
that
ahead,
too?
Robbie. Go ahead,
Um,
Robbie.
I would like to say, if she took me out and she's ordering both of us the same thing, being that I'm picky, I don't eat a lot of things, so I might just turn to her and say, you know what, yeah, that was a good try trying to get me to come out of my box I'm in and try something new, but it's just not gonna work. So what I advise you to do is call the waiter over, tell him, tell him this, that it wasn't prepared to my liking, that something was wrong with it, and have him take it off the bill, and I'll order something that I like.
So you're gonna give them a loophole. You're gonna give them a way out.
I'm trying to help them out so we can have a peaceful time at this date still, this dinner, luncheon, whatever you want to call it. And maybe we can walk away without disliking each other.
Just
All right.
tell them you can't
Well,
eat
just
that. I can't eat
like
that.
we're all
whatever.
adults. Don't you know the partner that you're hanging out with? By now, by going out, you should have some kind of sense of what this person is like.
No. Nope, they're just dating. They're what's the name? But since you want to go there, we're gonna take it to there right now. So let's take it up a step.
But here's the thing, Dave. With that being, is that person like Deli said, he's trying to control, and then also he's penny pinching. He's trying to order you something that he probably usually eat, and he think you might like it, but in all actuality, he is just penny pinching because that's probably cheap. An eggplant and a 2 salad, that's probably cheap.
Okay.
So you win, you lose some. If you're saying, David, that it's just going out and it's the first stage of getting to know
just
that's
dating, getting to know.
That's how you determine whether or not to continue or let go. Those are characteristics that you can pick up. And based on your maturity or whatever person you are and what you're looking for, there are signs. You can read it immediately. And without being rude or disrespectful, you just move on. Trial and error.
Okay. Yeah. So now we're gonna take it up a notch. We're gonna go to the relationship. Now you're in a relationship with this individual. Same scenario. At the end of the night, this person is because he tried to order for you, he or she, and he feels like you embarrassed him instead of in front of the waiting staff. And so now he feels like you should pay half the bill because you embarrassed him. So how do you deal with that now? Now, this is someone that you're in a relationship with, not someone you're dating with, someone that you're in a committed relationship with. How do you deal with that now that this individual is asking for half the bill?
Well, it's like this. Those type of things like that come up, you already done seen those signs. And most likely the relationship is rocky and they got a crack in it, it's about to split. That's when that type of situation comes up like that.
If it's a relationship, you should know what you're dealing with already. So either you shouldn't be going out that night, or if there's the problem, okay, so you have a disagreement. Maybe it does end up like that because things got a little ugly because you felt as though I embarrassed you. Okay, so I'll swallow that to diffuse the situation. I'll swallow that. But you best believe the next time or the next 2 or 3 times, you're gonna pick up the tab.
Okay, so ladies, the rest of you, how do you feel about that?
For I think a solution or scenario, I will put it this way. The man trying to have the lady pay the bill after he ordered something she didn't care to taste or she doesn't like. So as a woman, she could turn to him and say, listen, babe, I see that you love that meal you're eating so much. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna order me something to go. And I'm also gonna help you pay this bill because we're in a relationship. So we're gonna pay for the whole bill together. My something to go included. And this little plate that you ordered me, we'll get that to go too. Because tomorrow when you're so hungry, babe, this is your lunch.
Or your dinner.
You better believe it.
Mhm.
That's why I said get a doggy bag. You
So
order
just for,
two of the
just for
same,
sake of,
you gotta get a damn doggy bag.
just for sake of time, because most people these days are living in their relationships as if they're married. So let's just go on and jump into that. So now you've been with this individual, y'all married, and now it becomes to bills. So the 50-50 rule, it gets amped up, so to speak. So I asked some people about this. So I'm gonna ask you all, and Burr, you still with us? Josie, you still with us?
Ask the question.
I'm
Okay.
here. I'm here.
All right. So I'm going to be fair because you haven't been able to answer the question all night. So we're talking about.
I'm here.
Okay, so both of y'all are here. So good. Bird first, then Josie. 50-50 rule. You're married.
Hey, Uncle D, not to
Wait.
you got Rachel on the phone too.
Okay, Rachel, you too. Okay, so if you're just joining us, we're talking about the 50-50 rule as it pertains to marriage. So, just to be fair, I called on Bird and I called on Joseph, so we're gonna go to them first, then we're gonna go to Rachel. Bird, you're married. Your wife, she makes $500,000 a year. She wants to split the bills right down the middle. How do you deal with that?
I mean, okay, whatever. You make 500,000 a year, and if I ain't making that, and you ain't offering to pay, I don't know how long we gonna be married. I'm getting half of that 500,000. Shit, if you want to act like that, so go ahead and be like that. I mean, if I got it, you ain't got to worry about it. If you got it, don't make me worry about that shit. You don't need my half or nothing. But I get it. If that's who you are as a person, we won't be married too much longer.
Okay.
I'm getting
Straight
some of
to the
that.
point. A straight cut to the point. Josie, same question. He makes $500,000 a year. He wants to pay half of the bills, mortgage, everything.
You're saying if he makes it, do I want him to pay half?
No. He
Hell
makes
yeah, you do.
$500,000 a year, and he wants you to pay half, 50-50. He wants you to split everything down the middle, car notes, mortgage, bills, everything, food. How do you feel about that?
And we're married?
And you're married.
Get him.
If we're married and you want me to pay 50-50, I'm okay with paying my way, but we're married. So where's this extra money going?
Okay. So you want to know where the extra is going for you not. All right, we're gonna come back to you. Rachel, same question. Your husband, he makes $500,000 a year. He wants you to pay half of everything, split it down the middle, 50-50, mortgage, car notes, bills in the house, food, everything. Go.
I look at it like this. If I'm working, right, like I can't control the income, right? I feel like it's on you, the type of income you got coming in. So I'm not going to judge the fact that you're making so much because I still have to pick up my side of things. So I feel like if my name is on the crib and everything is 50-50 and like you said, we married and that's how it goes, I have no issue. Like I would have no problem doing that as long as I know both roles are adding up. So like if I'm working and I'm helping you with half the bills and I'm taking care of everything in the house, like everything in the house, and I'm still being like doing all of those things that I'm supposed to do as a wife or mother or whatever's going on, then I mean, there's a little bit of an argument there when it comes to like, well, so what do you just work, come home and pay half the bills, and then what? Like Josie kind of said, it's like, well, where's the rest of that bread kind of going? But if you're
Well, he
making
got to do half the chores. He can do half the
right,
everything else then.
right, like if you're gonna
If
make
he
it
wants
make
you to
sense,
pay
like
half
you
the
taking
bread,
care of me, like if I
yeah.
know that extra bread is there, but you're taking care of me, so on random days I'm getting shit, we doing trips, you make sure I got everything that I need outside of that, and I'm straight. And I would have no problem as long as that 50-50 shit stands the whole way around. But I'll also make it clear though, what's mine is what's mine though. So like if I got like my own, I got a business or something shit, whatever's going on and it's mine, I'm not 50-50 and up on none of that. So whatever I make from there, whatever I got going in, whatever I got to do on my side, that's what I'm doing. Like that's just would have to be declared that what's mine is mine, what's his is his, what's ours is ours.
And y'all married, and that's
That ain't
that's
marriage.
your mindset.
Yeah, yes it is. What you
It's
mean?
a
Why
it's a
not?
prenup. It's almost
That's what I'm
like
saying.
Right.
it's basically almost, you know, I started this before you, and now we got something together, and you had yours before me. So you keep yours, I'll keep mine, and we'll share ours.
Okay,
Yeah, what you mean?
just so we
No, I'm not
clear,
saying nothing
Yours
crazy. I'm
might be
saying as long as
making
y'all
more
have
than
that
mine. I don't
understanding.
want that. Yours is
Yeah.
making more than mine. I want some of yours. Shit. I'm
But I look at it
entitled to
like
it
this,
by
right?
marriage.
I could be making, I could
If
have a
there's no
regular little
signed
job,
prenup, I'm entitled to half of that.
I
but
feel
I
like
could have
Bird
a,
is the only. I feel like
my
Bird is
money
the
is
only
my
one that's
money.
grasping. I think Bird is the only one that's grasping the figures, the numbers. If y'all
Right.
missed it, I'll say it to you again.
$500,000.
No, but that's
Your
why I'm
mate
trying to
makes
say that.
$500,000 a year, and he wants you to pay half of everything:
Yeah.
mortgage, car notes, bills, everything. He makes
Basically,
500. She makes
basically,
500.
you're saying, if
Oh,
he's the
she makes
breadwinner,
500?
no,
No,
because he didn't say that at the beginning. If he's the
and
breadwinner, he got
But
$500,000. He can pay for all the bills and still have $400,000 left over. Easy.
right. So
now
that's
you
when
get
you
it.
have a discussion as a wife, and now you come up with plans that your income doubles up and it works for your favor. So now that 400,000 you got, hey baby, come on, let's sit down and talk about this little business here I want to run. Now I want to open this salon or something. We gonna make it make sense. Then when I got that coming in, now you help boost me as my husband, right? And I got income coming in now, so I can use less of yours, and I have my shit coming in, so that now I'm making 500,000, and so are you.
Yeah.
We can split that
You
bill
get
if
it.
we both making 500. We going
You
50
get
No,
me?
no,
50.
No, we
no,
gonna
no.
split.
We didn't talk about, you didn't talk
Now, if I'm
about,
broke, now if the question was, if you don't have a job and you scrapping and
right.
you finagling your bread or whatever, you hustling little side gigs here and there, you not really making, you know what I'm saying? You making freaking 30,000 a year or whatever, right? And now this nigga's over here making 500,000
Right.
and you
should be
taking my bread. Now we gonna have a discussion because nigga, you got me broke, nigga. How I'm supposed to live?
Duchess, are you still with us? Kiana, are you still here?
Yes, I'm still here.
All right, same question. Your husband brings home $500,000 a year, and he wants you to split the bills 50-50. Car notes, mortgage, bills. Well, how do you handle this situation? Does the 50-50 rule apply?
No, it doesn't. First of all, we should have had these conversations before we got married. And if when we got married, we were both at a low point, and then you got higher bracket income, then there's a discussion, because as someone said, like I would never, and as my husband, you wouldn't want me to look like I'm poor and because I'm paying everything and you would be paying more. So I look like a homeless chick and you look like I don't know, Mr. Belvedere. That just wouldn't work for me. So hold on, sorry, I'm getting a phone call. But no, the 50-50 would not work for me. And I would not be paying half of anything. If you make more, you should want to contribute more. And even with contributing more, because most men feel like the most they could do is provide, that's what you should want to do. And then I don't want you to go broke paying everything, so I would contribute. But again, that's the discussion that you have prior to marriage or every step along the way of your marriage?
Same
And
question.
my man can't go broke. He got $500,000 he's bringing in a year. That's $500,000. Your mortgage is not costing $100,000. Your bills ain't adding up to that 100,000. Your car notes ain't adding up to that. What he is doing is picking up the slack, or he's just balancing it out for you guys. He's not really losing money because he's gonna see another 500,000 in a couple of months.
All right, let me say this to you. No, because you got to be clear, guys. Don't switch the figures. It was 500,000 a year, not 500,000 a month. So 500,000.
I said in a couple of months, add up 12 months, maybe 11 months after you start paying some of that money down.
That's the next year. But let me be clear, since you're there, do you think it's fair for, be it the male or the female, that is bringing home $500,000 a year for income, to ask their spouse to pay half, to split everything 50-50? Do you think that the 50-50 rule is fair? Does it apply?
Can I answer that?
Yes. Anybody, jump in.
Okay, first of all, hell no. Because I make $40,000 a year. You make $500,000. You expect me to spend all my money on bills while you keep the majority of your money? I'll kick their cheap ass to the curb. I'm not going for it, because they're not really trying to help me build anything. They're just taking from me. They're taking everything I got.
Though, his money is your money. You're entitled to that
we
money.
won't be
If you're
married
married
long with that bull.
Again, there's a discussion about where is this other money going. Like, no one's
to the
sucker
family. We're
material.
married.
No one's sucker material. We're married, so we're supposed to be building. So what I'm saying is, I don't have a problem as a female paying my way, because I truly believe if someone leaves you, you need to be able to pay your way. There's a lot of people who's married as females, and when their husband or their marriage don't go right, they don't know where to go. They don't know what to do, because they've been reliant on this man and his source of income. So again, what I'm saying is, I don't have a problem paying half my way. So I'm going to say this to you as a married couple: there has to be a discussion about where the rest of this man, as your husband's money, is going. So I'm going to hope that it's going towards a business. It's going towards some type of trust. It's going towards something that is going to benefit us.
Yeah.
If they're not selfish and want to see you, they want to be above you. You always
That's not my
ask
husband.
it.
That's
You
not
always
my
ask
husband.
it.
We walk down one aisle to walk down another aisle. And that's all I got to say about that.
What do you want said again, David?
What you say, if they're not what?
I said no, they always want to be above you. They want to be on a higher level.
Before that, you said something to begin with S. If they're not selfish is the key
selfish.
word.
That's what I said. Selfish, yes. And that's definitely all it boils down to. This man being selfish, or woman, if she's making that 500 grand a year and she don't find that the love that she shares in this marriage means more than that money, that she can spread it and share it and spend it and make it right back, or he the same way can make it right back, that's being selfish. Because at the end of the night, y'all sleeping in the bed together. At the end of the day, you're sucking each other's spit. You're dealing with each other's problems, the hard times and the good times.
Okay,
selfish is what selfish does.
Absolutely. Self-centered person, I don't think you're really going to go far.
So let's switch it up a bit, right? You got an individual now, be it the male or the female, they don't got no income. Your spouse has no income for whatever reason. They're allowed to be a stay-at-home wife or a husband, or they might be disabled. You the one bringing in all the money. You're making, like, let's get some more realistic numbers. Let's say you're making $75,000 a year. Your mate's income is anywhere from $1,800 a month, and you are making $75,000 a year and he is only bringing home $1,800 a month. Someone get some numbers for that. Whereas how do you ask him to go half? Is that possible? What do you do in that situation? Because obviously the person that's making $75,000 is the breadwinner of the union. So is it fair to ask that person to pay half of everything, be it female or male? Bird, you first. How do you feel about that?
I believe the maturest thing to do is the person as the breadwinner take on the majority of the financial load. I mean, if I say, hey, you pay the light bill, hey, you pay the cable bill, I got the rent, the lights, the gas, the phone, the food, maybe in that sense, I'm not looking for 50-50, maybe just effort. You know what I mean? So I get it, making that money, being a primary breadwinner. Yes, I may say nothing. Hold on to your money. I know that money's going to come to the house at some point. If I see you out buying shoes and nails and hair and all of this other material bull, then we'd have a discussion on what you could portion out to help. But at the end of the day, I think I'm the old-fashioned man provider, woman provider. You know what I mean? She provides everything needed to maintain a home. The woman is the backbone of every family. She holds the home together. She holds the family together. She's the matriarch of the. We just sometimes ain't shit. And selfish was a big word that came up. And as a man, we are definitely selfish beings, and we kind of just do things unorthodox, and then coulda, shoulda, woulda shit comes up, and too late for that.
And that's like almost $53,000 uncountable. You can't tell me. I don't know where it went. It just went. It went where? In a bank account?
That can
A
happen.
secret?
That can happen.
Yeah,
that
the
can
secret
happen. It
bank
depends.
account.
You got one kid, or you're just two people married, and that's it. That's understandable. But when you are trying to establish and raise a family, through that money flies right out the window, and you don't know where it goes. It's gone. You could say, "Oh shit, I made $108,000 this year." Are you kidding me? Where the hell would that go? Where did that go?
Right.
I can tell you that firsthand. Where the hell did $100,000? I ain't seen it $100,000.
You must have been in love. That's where it goes. When you're in love, you do things.
I mean, you raise a family, and I get it. So when I say I don't know where it went, I understood where it went, but it wasn't. When you see 100,000, you're thinking I have $100,000 in my hand. No, you had $100,000 over the course of a year that was distributed through a numerous amount of things. Raising children and school and all of this crazy stuff.
Right.
So again,
there's
let me
other
ask
things
you
that
guys,
happen. Private schools are in the picture. You know what I mean?
do you think it's fair, again, to ask someone that has lesser income than you in the union, in the relationship, to pay half of everything and they make less than what you bring home?
I don't think it's fair.
Half is necessary. No,
it's not necessary.
You don't think it's necessary?
But like everybody said, the person who's making the most money is most likely knows that person makes less than them, so they most definitely are going to take on more of the responsibility because.
Here's the double standard in all of that. Here's the double standard, right? Everybody's saying half and half. Hell no, half and half ain't right? But that woman takes you to court and divorces your funky ass. She damn sure is going to be entitled
half.
So whether she's preaching, I don't want half, or I don't think we should go half, but I want half of your everything you own and everything you got. I want half of that. So you all on board with the 50-50 then, but you ain't on board with the 50-50 now. So figure that out.
That's vice versa. That's just as well as a woman making more than you, took care of you for 2 to 5 years in your marriage. You get a divorce.
Yeah,
you get half of what she got. She got to pay to keep you feeling the way she had you feeling when you was with her.
Right. I mean, there's other aspects to marriage.
You got accustomed to a certain way of
living.
Yeah, but see, you know what? If we spend half the time devoted to the relationship and instead of spending half the time bitching about what you're not gonna do and how you feel undervalued and just do your part, then it won't lead to them taking
Understand, money is the
action,
root of
male
all
or
evil.
female.
I
Money
think it
is the
just
root of all
depends.
evil.
There's so
Who
many
the
different
individual
factors
is.
with marriage. Like when it comes to that type of stuff, because you can have like I have a cousin who got married at like 17, right? And the dude was like 20 years older than her. She had 2 kids by the time she was like 22. This dude was so old, you know, he was like the breadwinner for her, but he kind of kept her real isolated. So she kind of had no choice but to know what to do in the house as a mom and to just be a wife. But he kind of kept her like she went through a lot of things, you know, abuse, all kind of shit. So when it came down to the divorce, I can see why you would feel like, listen, motherfucker, you was the breadwinner. I was doing my part. I took care of you. Like at the end of the day, I was mentally there for you. I raised your kids. Like I had your back while, you know, all this was going on. I was unable to work. I was unable to have
You're
for me.
entitled
And
to
now
every
that you're
benefit as
gone,
well.
Right.
now that you're
You're
gone,
entitled to
motherfucker,
all
I
benefits.
want half your shit because now I got these kids, like, you know.
So
You're
y'all
entitled.
feel like that. Y'all feel like that in that situation, even though he was the breadwinner, she was home, she was taking care of the children at home, and she was suffering the mental and physical abuse. So she's doing more than half. It balances out financially. Even though he's the one doing everything financially, she's
Right.
suffering more.
Right. But even if we don't even
Because
say suffer, even if we put it in a more positive light,
it's not,
if I'm
it's not
doing what I'm supposed to
suffering.
do, if I'm doing what I did as a
As
wife,
a
and I
wife,
know
yes.
I played
Cooking,
that
cleaning,
role,
children. You
That's
wash your
yeah.
funky
right.
ass on
So I'm
laundry.
entitled to
Absolutely.
The
something.
house
Yeah.
clean,
Absolutely.
Because
wash
who
the
knows, in the midst of
clothes,
all those years, I could have
comes
fucking had
home
a career
from
and got my stuff together, you know?
Well, let me say this
work,
to you guys. Let me say
getting
this to
up
you guys.
early in the morning, making breakfast, you're making his lunch and all that. That's all
You
work.
coming home to a
That's
hot
all
dinner, you
Sacrificing,
entitled.
you could be
all
You
that.
entitled
sacrificing
to it.
your own career in order to make
Right.
sure
You're
he can
entitled.
keep doing what he's
Exactly.
doing.
Let me say this to you guys for the sake of time. I think that initially where it comes down to the 50-50 rule is everybody take everything that pertains to the relationship, the situation to account. First thing that should be a part of the equation is respect for the other individual that you're dealing with, be it dating or being in a committed relationship or the ultimate relationship, which is marriage. It should be, you should have respect, 100% respect for that person starting out. They gain and lose points based upon what they bring to the table, wise attitude and things like that. Attitude equals aptitude. You think a certain way, you behave a certain way. So if you think this person is the breadwinner, they're making everything, they should pay for everything, and they should take and do everything what comes with being the breadwinner. So if I want to give them attitude and be show like I don't have no appreciation for what they do because they're in a position to do it, so they should, then that's what's going to happen.
Let me just see it. I don't know.
Go ahead. Rachel, you was trying to say something?
Oh no, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't know it was my daughter's talking. I'm sorry.
All right, so let me say this to you guys. And so I think initially 50-50 rule as it pertains to dating, relationships, and marriage. This is the way the 50-50 rule, this is the sure proof way that it's gonna work. Find you somebody that is equally yoked. So if you want somebody that has no problem paying all the bills and stuff like that, find you someone that exercises that ideology, and you will be fine. If you want somebody that splits the bills right down the middle, fairly, 50-50, then you need to find you someone that thinks like that, be it male or female. And that way, everything will be okay. That's how you get equality. When you find somebody that wants the same things that you want and shares your perspective. All right. So remember, guys, perspective equals perception. So just take that into account. Again, this has been the Still a Man podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. Keep coming back. God bless you. Good night.